back to Newly Licensed Know What? Today is Mentor. Actually, today is Mindset Monday, and we're going to talk about how to meh proof your mindset. And please come up, raise your hand so we could talk to you about how your weekend was, as well as how to meh proof your mindset. Because we all have uh, busy weekends, we all have family, we all have people that, you know, are there. And unfortunately, sometimes it's not so positive. So, how do we meh proof our mindset on Mindset Monday? So, hi, Nevea. How are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Excellent, excellent. Let me make sure I make my volume loud so I can hear everyone.
I'm at work right now, so I'm just
Oh,
popping in.
okay. All right. Well, I'm going to try to ping some people in, and
I'll do the same.
if you want, I'll make you moderator so you can ping some people in as well.
Okay.
Welcome to the room, and today's Mindset Monday. So we gotta protect our minds at all cost. So talking about how to meh proof our minds. You know, when you see people will say, how do you feeling? They say meh. We don't like meh. We like excitement. We like fantastic. We like the good things. Meh is not it. It does not compute in my brain. I don't understand what meh means. So we should.
That's too funny. Where did you hear meh?
I see it all the time on people's, like, when people comment, they put a little face, and one of the faces like a meh face. Like
I see.
when
That's
you
the one with the slit as a mouth.
yeah, it's people just don't, they're not happy, they're not sad, they're just meh. And I said, well, it's perfect for Mindset Monday. How do you meh proof you know your positive mindset, right? And it's very appropriate for sometimes people just don't feel happy, they don't feel sad, they're just meh. So um, kind of a fun spin on some of the stuff I've seen with social media lately. So, um, I had a great weekend, and I have a new listing, and we got it on the market, already got offers on it. We're just out there looking for replacement homes. So that's a little challenge right now. So being able to map proof your positive attitude when you're looking at a lot of houses, and the houses aren't perfect for your client, but you got to keep going and keep seeing them until you find that perfect house. So just this morning I did meditation, and I did I listened to my positive affirmations, my I am statements. So that's how I met proof my um, attitude. So that's kind of what I do. And you're at work, I understand. Let me ping some more
I can
people in.
I can talk a little bit.
How do you
Actually,
how do you met
what was that?
prove your attitude?
Usually I also do meditation. I try to practice daily in the mornings. But last week I didn't do very well because I had a pretty packed week. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get better at managing my time and making it a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But I will make sure I meditate on my lunch break soon because I know it's a huge difference in my attitude, my mindset. I think it's really great.
Absolutely. And the really great thing about meditation is close your eyes, take deep breaths, really deep breaths, because that's what's so important with meditation. And that's why you can ground yourself and put yourself on the beach in Hawaii, or wherever you love to go. You could put yourself wherever that is and get yourself in a state of calm. no matter what goes on around you, nobody can change where you are at in your mind. No one can take that away from you. And that's the most important thing about that's your own personal spot, and no one can change that. So when you're having the tough times and you're just kind of, when you're just kind of meh, you have your meditation to get rid of, I guess, let's see, you can use your meditation to get rid of the meh in your life. Hey, I just made I should hashtag that.
I'm gonna write that down.
You can use your meditation to get rid of the meh in your life. And I think meh is spelled M-E-H. So I appreciate you coming into the room. I appreciate you spending the time with us. I don't know why I have to make sure that I have this open because I know they just changed some of the on Clubhouse. So
I'm sure it on Clubhouse as well.
So I just did that, and I'm going to share it on my in my StreamYard. I'm on my StreamYard too. Let me see. Let me go and grab. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna put on mute, so if there's any dogs in the neighborhood, you don't hear it. I'm just gonna go grab my my tablet also, because that's a really good place for me to get other people into these rooms, because they come through my Instagram or they come through my Twitter. I've been doing Twitter last couple. Actually, I started doing Twitter live. Cool, because people come into your Twitter live. I got 159 viewers. I was just doing funny voices. It was really funny, and it is like, to make people laugh is really cool, especially when they're in that mad mood. So let's see. I'm gonna add some topics to our room. Mindfulness. I'm gonna do mindfulness is gonna be one of them. So fun, meet people, mindfulness. Let's see if we could attract some people in the room by changing the titles, changing what we have as a. Oh, Farzad, how are you, Farzad? Come on up and say hi. It is Mindset Monday, and what we're doing. Attitude that, when you're just kind of in between, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're just kind of meh. So how do you protect your mindset when you feel kind of meh? Farzad?
Hi, good morning, guys. Thank you for brought me up. Actually, I have a quick question about the newly licensed Mindset Monday. So what it is about the degree you recently or what is it, or it's about the mental situation?
Well, I created this room a while ago. I think I have 39 episodes right now about it's supposed to be mostly real estate, but newly licensed, and it actually could be anything. It could be newly licensed realtor, it could be newly licensed insurance, it could be newly licensed anything, because we all are dealing with clients every day. And protecting our mindset is so important in business and in life. So it could actually be anything, Farzad. It could be any business or anything that you're dealing with. Mindset is so important to protect, because there's so much negativity out there.
You're absolutely right. I believe there are too many things around us in the society, that too many reasons that may prevent you to actually move toward your goal. And it's really important to, as you mentioned earlier, to protect our mindset and our beliefs. And I think as much our beliefs are stronger, the mindsets will be like out of reach of the negativity overall.
Absolutely, Farzad. So how do you protect your mindset? How do you make sure that the negativity doesn't bleed through? We have a weekend, and good and bad things happen in the weekend. Hopefully they're mostly good. And then Monday comes around, and it's time to go back to work. It's time to put your nose to the to the grindstone, and to focus on your successes in the week, even though there's so many things out there that are there to take that mindset away and give you all this negativity out there. So how do you protect your mindset, Farshad?
Well, that's a good question. I should admit I've never thought about it, about the mindset. Actually, I'm very goal objective in my life. I mean, I imagine, I depicted imagine a portrait of my life, and I try to gather all data or instruments to build and the way to reach that specific place. And I believe the mindset, it should be a characteristic of the mindset to protect themselves at least as strong as they are as they are out of out of reach to break down and to be conquered by all the negativity out there.
You're absolutely right, and protecting that mindset is so important in life as well. I'm going to invite Hamid up, and if he's able to talk. Hamid, welcome to the room. This is Newly Licensed. Now what? We're doing Mindset Monday today. We're talking about protecting our mindset, and how do you protect your mindset from the negativity around you?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sir. I hear you.
Oh, there you are. Not exactly. What do you mean by the mind? Are we talking about how you go along with the work or daily do things and try to set up some sort of a mindset, or your what kind of a word do I put together? How you cope with problems? Is that what you're trying to ask?
Basically, what I'm talking about is that we're surrounded by negativity, and how do you approach it? How do you protect your mindset with the negativity when it comes to business, when it comes to family, when it comes to just protecting your mind, because the mind can stop us.
Oh, gotcha. Oh boy, that's a very general and over. What you asked a few questions in one question, which is not bad. But I'll tell you what, on the business aspect of it, you go with your gut feeling and your experience. I have been in the real estate business for about, I would say, maybe close to 30 years, maybe 29 or so. The fact that I learned, that I'm still learning, it becomes an instinct and a logic. I mean, some sort of a logic. Let me put it this way. You should probably do what makes sense. You should probably deal with uncertainties and and the people that they don't have a good logic, that, hey, listen, this is how things are. This is how I have learned it. So I'm just kind of passing it through to you. The biggest thing here is controlling your emotion. Because logic and emotion, they don't get along really well. Are you with me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. What happened is, emotion is pretty much your emotion, your liking. You don't have to have a reason if you go out and see something that you like and just buy it. You know, simply a car, clothes, jewelry, whatever. If you're going to invest and do a business, then you're going to have to use some of those principles of the logic and principle of the businesses, or how this thing's, if this thing's going to pan out for you, maybe in the short term, long term, midterm, or whatever that is. So I think that's the quick version of how do you deal with it. Naturally speaking, guy, you know, I control my emotion. I do have passion, quite a bit of it, but I do control it. Usually in business atmosphere, I try to be more of a listener rather than a speaker. I am learning every day, but I possess a whole lot of a wealth of experience. And that experience tells me that if I've done some mistakes, if I ever repeat that, that would be pretty much probably a pure stupidity. And of course, we're all greedy, you know, with the greed kind of talks into it, you know, it gets into us. You want to make more, you want to make it more in a short period of time. You got to have certain standards. What I could suggest, hang around with the people that they know much, much more than you do. For a couple of reasons. Number one, they're not going to ask a dollar from you to, you know, as a loan. That might sound pretty crazy, but I tell you. And the other one is that you could learn from them. They could actually challenge you. Getting challenged is the most beautiful part of this business and the life aspect. Now the question is, how do you get challenged? You get challenged deeply into some sort of challenges that way behind of your ability, then you need to improve that ability. I mean, it can go on. This thing can go on and on. But I just wanted to listen to you guys and see what I told you. Is that going to make sense to anyone, or anyone has something, you know, to kind of rebuttal of this? And we'll just have a conversation for maybe another 10 minutes because I got to run after 10-15 minutes.
Absolutely. And you're right. This question is actually very philosophical, because mindset can be construed any way. I mean, there's all sorts of types of mindset, and mindset with family, and you have mindset with business, and you have mindset with just life. We have so much going on in this world with, you know, is COVID real? Is it not real? Do you get a shot? Do you not get a shot? Those very tough questions can affect your mindset, like within seconds. You know, there's so much information out there. How do you break down that information into what are the truths in our world, our universe? Because we're all connected through the universe. We're all universally connected. I'm in Southern California, and be in New York, or you could be in Europe. However, when it comes to, we're all connected. I teach my children that we all bleed red. We all hurt. We all have goals and dreams in our lives, and it doesn't matter who we are, where we're at. we all have the same goals for our families and our kids. So when it comes down to, we're all connected. And when we forget that fact, that's when we wind up in trouble. And mindset. If you break it down back into mindset, we this morning I woke up, I did my I am statements. I am successful. I am attracting positive people. I am focused and goal oriented to help create 100 new agents this year. There's these I am statements that you run through your head, and I am statements help to protect your state. And there's a lot of talk about state with, you hear Tommy Hopkins and you hear Tony Robbins talk about it's all about the state, because you could be in a bad state and decide to change that state through mindset and through just, you change how you hold yourself. And you hold yourself a little bit higher, and you focus on your state to change your mindset. So it's that, without going down the route, I have an ADD, so sometimes I do that. But I'll land my plane. And what do you think about it, Navi?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, what Hamid said and we were talking about mindset, and I was talking about that, our state of where can change our mindset in a second. How you hold yourself up, how you look at yourself, if you're smiling, if you do your meditation and statements in the morning, all of that can contribute to your mindset. And it's important to have that mindset.
Give me 1 second to just walk
Sure.
out of the office.
No problem. I'm going to
I
invite.
definitely want to contribute.
Absolutely. Welcome to the room, Joel. This is Newly Licensed Now What? We're talking about Mindset Monday. How do you your mindset from the meh mood when you just kind of, I guess he didn't want to talk. But, I'll reset the room real quick. My name is Sam Silver. I'm with eXp Realty. I've been licensed since 2004. I invest in single family residence. My goal and my purpose is giving back to heroes in my community through my real estate business, and give 20% of my gross back to them in this incredible world we're living in. So that's me in a nutshell. Nevaeh, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm working on getting my real estate license, which is why I've been coming into Sam's room every Monday and Thursday, I believe. And I actually had a question for you, Sam. What is a mindset shift that you often see in realtors that they would benefit from making?
Mindset shift in realtors that they would benefit from making.
Yes, maybe I should reword that question.
Stop. I would say, just from what you said, I would say stop comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to others, because what you do is the power within you. What they do is the power within them, and we all have different stories in our life, and we're all in a specific area in our lives, each other. But it doesn't, I'll correct that, and it doesn't make you any better or any worse than somebody else in the business. What it does is you're different. So the problem I see real estate agents do, or just people in business, they compare themselves to others and then put themselves down because they haven't achieved the successes that somebody else has achieved. Like, I can very easily say, you know what, I'm not in the same boat as Grant Cardone and I'm older than him. And then I can beat myself down for what I don't have or I don't do and the successes I don't have. However, I'm twin daughters that are 17 years old. I have one of my daughters is autistic and has autism. My other daughter has ADHD. So we're in a different state, in a different mind frame, in a different story. We all have different stories, and we are where we're at for a reason, and we learn more about ourselves because of where we're at and why. And basically, we learn our lessons in life, and then we achieve higher things for ourselves. And agents compare themselves to other agents too often. And I would say compare yourself to yourself and where you want to go and what your goals are, and not other agents, because you are not them and they are not you. So that's a long-winded way of saying about the different states that I see agents approach.
I definitely agree with that. I had a really bad habit of, when I first started my real estate journey, I had a really bad habit of comparing myself to others my age, and like was really hard on myself. And it really stunted my growth. And it wasn't until maybe a few months ago where I was able to get a hold of that bad habit and start comparing myself to myself and getting 1% ahead each day instead of thinking that I'm 100 steps behind or I should have done this months ago. And just trying to make that small shift has helped me tremendously and is still helping me today.
Absolutely, and it should, because like Hamid's in the commercial real estate business, and if he competed with every commercial agent out there, he would never get anything done. Right,
I'm
Hamid?
actually working for 2 commercial brokers, so I'm kind of seeing the back end of it, how everything works, which is pretty cool for me.
And go and network with Hamid. Learn if you have questions about commercial. You know, he's been in the business a long time, since it looks like 1990. Hamid. He may be in a bad area.
I wanted to tell you something. You know, I actually look at your title and it says that newly licensed now. But look at here. Let me put it this way. Information is power. How you define or how you make yourself different with other competitor is that how much of a knowledge and how much of an experience you carry with you. Now, for the beginners, I would advise if they go and join with some sort of a big companies like, you know, Coldwell Banker, Remax, you know, Century 21, or, you know, whatever those big shop real estate offices are, because they have a lot of tools to offer. Once you pick up some of that experience and some of that tools, that you could become very compatible into the world of the commercial or residential real estate. But putting that aside, real estate by itself is a science.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, majority of our brokers and agents know very little bit about it. Not a whole lot. You want to know if some agent has some sort of a knowledge. When the deal, you know, when you make some sort of a deal in the house and the house goes pending and you open an escrow, the first report that comes to your desk is the preliminary title report. On that
Absolutely.
preliminary title report, there's so many informations. But 90% of the agents and brokers don't even know what the heck those are, such as property description,
Mm-hmm.
those jumble jimbles in there with those numbers and stuff. You put them in front of an agent or a broker. Say, well, I have no idea what this is. It would be nice to know. It would be nice to know the real estate that you're supposedly advising people. How was it built? How was it put together? How does it look? What kind of a recommendation you could get? I'm not trying to tell you to become an engineer or a contractor or anything like that, but you have to have certain bases covered in order to understand your problem, your potential problem, so you can advise on it. Everyone that I talk to in the residential aspect, when they come across me, say, oh God, I love commercial because those big bucks you make. They just don't have an understanding that by itself, it takes lots of years of learning. You know, in commercial real estate, there are different categories. There are apartments, there are industrials, there's land, there's business opportunities, there's ag. There are all kinds. And one person's reality, usually because of the business, you know, sometimes because of the act of desperation, they will try. And that's how things start kind of falling apart. So what needs to be done is get educated. Hang around with the people, like I said before, that they know more than you, and they're willing to share. I think some folks that, you know, they're in that category, once they see that you're enthusiastic and you have some passion, you're willing to learn, advise, do things, they'll take you on. They'll take you on for a couple of reasons, simple reasons. For their own sake, that, you know, they have somebody that is aggressive, that they could learn and they could produce. And the other one is just making money. And when it comes a time that you do, or you are confident enough that you can be on your own, you can be on your own. I actually taught some courses on how to become a certified commercial members. There's a chapter called CCIM, Commercial Certified Investment Members. And you take their course for, you know, I think 20, 30 grand or something like that for a year and a half. And you learn the principle of commercial real estate. How do you deal with numbers? How do you describe things? How do you put things in perspective? And that's where the challenge is. So this is pretty much in a nutshell. By the way, Sam, I'm in Northern California as well. You know, I am stationed in Danville, San Ramon area. That's as far as I can tell you. I got a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions, something, let me know. I'll answer them. Other than that, I got to get out.
Thank you so much, Amit. I appreciate you. What you have to say is just gold. The knowledge you have. You talk about what real estate agents don't understand, and a lot of it is, you're right. You know, if you take a look at a property profile, you're like, most agents, if they're not trained properly, don't understand how to look at a property profile. And that's the first thing you do before you go to sell a house. You make sure you have the property profile. You make sure you pull that prelim. You make sure you read that prelim. You make sure you go through those documents, because you're protecting your client by understanding what's on those documents. And you're right. I'm not going to say most, because I don't like to generalize. A lot of real estate agents don't understand or don't get trained properly to read those. And they're so important to read. It's important to know what title insurance is and what it covers. It's important to know what a cloud on title is. These are all things that my mentees and the people I bring under my wings will understand those things, and I actually do videos on those things through Zoom, and to explain those things, because my team whoever I help to become better agents. And my newly licensed rooms, I want to make sure I'm giving the best information and the most updated information about how to help other agents become successful. And that's why I became a mentor, a certified mentor with eXp. I want to be able to help those people to go from newly licensed now what to success, and to understanding contracts, how to read contracts, and how to keep learning and increasing their knowledge so that they can help this business become better. And it's not competition with us and these big box stores out there. We're changing the game so that way our clients understand what we do is so important and so vital that we show value, and they understand that, you know, whatever fee structure you guys charge, and it's not locked and it's all negotiable, so whatever you charge, you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth every penny you charge, whatever that may be, and that your client realizes that you work hard for them, and it's not just for the paycheck, it's the passion and purpose that you put into your business. And I am very passionate and very purposeful in focusing my attention on heroes in my community. And that's what gets me up in the morning, and that's what gets me out of bed, and that's what gets me doing what I need to do every day, because I could see the changes in lives that I help to facilitate through real estate. So that's kind of my passion and purpose. What I say to people is be passionate about what you do, and whatever can get you to your big rocks or your big why, your passion. Let's focus on that mindset. Let's focus on that mindset to start with your big why, your big rocks. KW talks about your big rocks or your big why. If you have a big enough why, your how will come through it. If you have a big enough why, your how will come through it. Because once you have a big enough why, your brain figures out how you're going to achieve it. And I appreciate you, Hamed.
Well said, well said. Just to close up this conversation with you guys is just a couple of little points. Transparency is important. Once you're a clear-cut person, not making a story. I mean, first of all, you got to learn how to become a good storyteller. A good, true, factored-in story will get you a winning prize. But God help you if you're trying to just make a story that is, lots of questions in there. You know, you can't contradict yourself or, have question mark in your statements or, unfortunately, falsifying things and telling things that are not true. Stay away from those. Stay clean, stay clear. I think it'll just comes to you. I'll think it'll do what it takes. But it does take time. You gotta pay your dues in order to make other dues, or, I know that the money is a big aspect of it, but I wanted to tell you that money will follow you right behind you. As you come clear, as you come someone that you provide a service that differs you from others, oh my God, you'll be so proud of yourself. I wish you a very good, productive year of 2022. I'm 64. I'm kind of leaning toward taking it easy. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I love to speak with the folks and just sharing some of my experience. and have him kind of consider it and think about it. Think about it down the road. Say, hey, this was an immigrant guy came in, told us about that he was in real estate for 30 years, and these are the points that he thought it worked. Just put him into the test. You won't be sorry. You won't regret it. Other than that, have a pleasant day. Stay healthy and happy.
God bless you, brother. Welcome to the room, Julian and Ashley. Oh, there's Julian. I guess we lost our brother there. He had to go. Ladies first, always. Ashley, welcome to the room. Newly licensed now what? This is Mindset Monday, and I actually created a phrase, how to protect your mindset from being meh. And meh came from social media, because I see the face as a meh is not positive, is not negative, it's just kind of right in the middle. And welcome. Introduce yourself. Let me know how do you protect your mindset. Hey Anna, come on up, say hi if you have time.
Hi Sam, thanks so much. Mindset is something I'm really working on this year, and so hence why I'm in the room, to be totally honest. I have multiple businesses going on, and so kind of getting in the headspace of being very intentional and having that business mindset, but not like a squirrel, is kind of something I'm really working on right now.
Yeah, we all become like a squirrel in this business, and just because of all of our digital devices, we're all kind of like an ADD. If you're not, when you start, you are down the line. But I suffer from ADD just coming into the gate. I actually found out that I had ADD way back when my kids were being tested, and I looked at them and I'm like, oh my God, relationships not lasting a long time, and jobs not lasting a long time, and just life being such a challenge as a teenager. That came from the same thing my kids are dealing with. So yeah, we all kind of have that ADD, just because of we have to do everything, and we have to be everywhere, and we have to be on the edge of our seat to to be there for our clients, because that's the way this business is. But yeah, thank you for coming in. How do you protect your mindset? We just had a weekend. Life gets in the way. How do you protect your mindset? What do you do? You said you're in the process. You're working on it. What do you find that you're focusing on to help to get you in the next level for your mindset?
Time blocking is something I'm really trying to stick with, just so that once I kind of get in a space of, small background, I just became a realtor, but I also have a boutique that I'm phasing myself out of, that I've owned for 15 years, and then me and my husband are starting an interior design and remodel business alongside the real estate. And so kind of learning to try to put myself in one lane and focus on the one thing, and really being intentional with those things. Time blocking is one thing that I'm trying to kind of keep that focus and keep my kind of mindset where it needs to be for each different business, so that I can actually accomplish things and not be running around trying to do all the things for all the things at once. And so some of those time blocking skills is something I'm really trying to hone in on to help with some of that right now.
Can I challenge you, Ashley, to change kind of the wording that you're using? I hear a lot of try.
Yes.
I am doing, I am succeeding, I want you to start using I am statements. I want you to sit down in the morning and write I am statements that you want to focus on. And then in the morning and before you go to bed, I want you to do I am statements, because if you start with I am statements, you're speaking in the future, and your mind will see that as success.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. And I know that I have I know that I have those tendencies. So that's definitely something that I am conscious about, that is something I'm working on for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in the room, and thank you for being so open and honest. And what I say is, I say challenges, because challenges are easier to get overcome. Challenges, because we all deal with challenges, but we get over them, and we work through them, and we solve them. So thank you for sharing your challenges, and together as a clubhouse room, as well as together as people, as friends, we can all help you get to your next level. Just connect with us, and make sure you follow the Newly Licensed Now What room. I appreciate you. And Anna,
Thank you.
so nice having you in here, Anna.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually just lounging on the beach, so I don't know how well you can hear me. I do have my earbuds on, but it's kind of windy. And it's Monday, but it doesn't feel like Monday in my world. It feels like a great way to start the year.
Leave your speaker on. I heard the seagulls in the background, so I'm going to live precariously through you on the beach.
Yeah, John and I both had COVID like a couple of days after Christmas. And so doctor's orders, we needed some sunshine. So here we are. And it's like 14 degrees in Philly. And I'm just grateful that I'm not back home right now.
Absolutely. I hope you guys are starting to feel better, and prayers for healing, because I knock on wood, I've been very fortunate. I've been able to do my real estate during COVID, and I've been very blessed not to have dealt with that protected, just being cautious and doing what I need to do. But I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you spending your beach time coming in and pouring out to everyone. How do you protect your mindset, Anna?
I'm doing it right now. All kidding aside, though, I learned from an agent many years ago that one of her best practices was at the end of every year that she would schedule her vacations for the upcoming year. And I thought, wow, because as realtors and moms, not that the men don't do this, I can only speak for my tribe, right, is that we tend to put everyone else first. And we get into real estate thinking we're going to have this flexible, great lifestyle, only to find out, like, shit, I left a 9-to-5 job and now I'm working like 24/7. And it's very easy to get into that rat race. So protecting your space, your time, and you're either working in the business, on the business, or out of the business. And we forget the out of business time, and we don't value it, and we don't celebrate the accomplishments and things of that nature. So all kidding aside, like, this is truly a way that I protect my mindset. And now for 2022, the goal is to visit one new area a month, whether even if it's just like an overnight stay or what have you, but ideally a few days or a week. But that John and I travel more. We're empty nesters now. And if we didn't, like, what was it all for? Is it just to work and to just keep making more money and what? And then what? Right? So the older I get, and I guess too, like, I'm 48. I cannot believe I'm going to be 49 this year. John actually referred to me as 50-ish. I was like, excuse me, I'm still 48. He's like, yeah, what do you think 50-ish means? Anything between 45 and 55? And I'm like, okay, I guess that's valid. So, but the point is that my mom passed of a massive heart attack at the age of 50. And I guess the closer I get to her age, the more I realize, like, if you're not enjoying, if you know, just celebrating what you've created, then you have to question what are you doing it for? Like, go get a 9-to-5 job and just, you know, do the grind that way. But to me, all of the accomplishments are to be celebrated, and take a minute and just enjoy and check out. You'll actually be more productive. That's the other thing that I have found, that doing it this way and planning vacations and making them a priority, that I'm actually more productive when I am on.
That's gold, people. Everyone in this room, that is gold, gold, gold. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy that beach. Enjoy that beach. Enjoy the sound. I love the sound of the beach. I don't like the sand, but I love the sound of the beach. I love to just go to the beach and just like take in the ions, the positive ions, because a lot of people don't realize that just being by the beach, you actually achieve a level of, I want to say, calm, because there's so many ions by the beach that are positive to you and to your mind and your mindset. So enjoy that. I don't want to hog up your time on the beach. You know, enjoy your family. Enjoy John. Enjoy your empty nest time. I'm heading there. I got one daughter that's she's in school today, and May, and it's just hard to believe that May is graduation, and I'm just sitting by myself going, oh my God, where did the time go? I mean, she's 17 years old. Where did the time go? It's just like it happened so fast. You know, it seems like just yesterday they were 211 and 215 in the NICU, and you know, I get emotional because you know there was, and that's what brings me my passion, because my emotion and understanding that the incredible first responders in the hospital took care of my babies when they were 211, 215, and 2 pounds 11 and 2 pounds 15. My wife always says, well, what do people think when you're saying 211, 215? Each of them fit in one of my hands as a rag doll. And it makes me more purposeful every day I wake up, and what hero can I get back to in the community? And I don't know, Anna, if you saw, yesterday was National Law Enforcement Day, and there's a lot of good that is going on in this world with law enforcement. There is a lot of negative, but I like to think that there's more good than bad. And if it wasn't for 4 police officers in LA, there was an airplane that crashed on the railroad track. And I think I posted it on my social media. If you go to my social media, take a look. 4 police officers saved this guy from being crushed by a train as it would crashed into his plane. And I can't make this up, people. I can't make this up. It happened yesterday, and it happened on National Police Appreciation Day. And I just, you know, I just thankful for first responders being out there to do what they need to do, no matter what the circumstances. I couldn't, you know, I don't know what I could do, what I would do if I saw a plane on a railroad track and you know, I would do what's in my power. I'm sure I would get out of my car and do whatever I was in my power to do it. But these police and fire and these first responders, they do stuff that most of us would never dream of doing, and putting ourselves in harm's way and with the threat of not coming back to their families. So I don't know if you saw that, Anna, on the news. I don't know if it went across the globe, but it was pretty amazing on what happened in saving this one guy out of this airplane and dragged him within seconds of being killed by a train that hit his plane.
I did not see that, but oh my gosh, what a powerful story. I've been kind of checked out these last couple of days, but no, that's intense.
And it makes me so thankful if I look back and I see a lot of negativity in the world, and it's like, you know what, that's a situation that happened. I can't change that. I could just change the way I look at the things that are around me and the positives around me, and change my mindset and focus my mindset on positive. And hopefully we all focus our mindset on positive and help to change the world by attracting more positive, by thinking positive. But I want to say happy anniversary, Spencer, of being in Clubhouse for a year. Woo, woo, woo! Woo, woo, woo! If you're there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't even know. I had no idea. Didn't even know what that bubble meant.
Yeah, that's what that silly balloon means. You've been on Clubhouse for a year. Welcome to my room, newly licensed. Now what? It's Mindset Monday, and we want to protect our mindset from feeling like we're in meh mood. So motivation, mindset, it's so important to protect that mindset. And Anna's on the beach protecting her mindset, and I'm jealous. But I love you for taking that time and coming in this room and helping me to pour out to people that need something, whatever that may be. So Spencer, introduce yourself and share with us, how do you protect your mindset from the negativity in the world?
First of all, thanks for having me up here. And it looks like you're serving the military, so thank you for that. My cousin's kids are over here. He was in the 82nd Airborne. They're over here this weekend, so I just spent a little time with him this weekend. It was good seeing him again. But anyway, back on the topic. I'm a real estate agent in Ohio, newly licensed for about 11 months now. And so mindset has been a big challenge. Kind of probably my last couple of years of college, I really got on top of it and having a more positive attitude. And it really made a huge difference for me in getting things done and just seeing things differently and in ways that I can take on anything. But that took probably a couple of years for me to get to that point where I thought that, hey, look, this is just a problem. I can solve it. Doesn't matter if something goes wrong. I fail, you're failing forward. You just keep going. And it took a long time, a year, at least a year or two of saying, what, I can do this. Everybody else does it. Why can't I do it? Just kind of repeating that to myself, and then setting a consistent schedule and just doing the things and failing at them and continuing to do them after failing at them until you get them right. And I think that played a huge part into it. Also, just keeping up with the consistency, sticking with it no matter what, because you don't see the results until you're all the way through. And I think a lot of people give up at 80 or 90%, and they have a bad mindset because they've never made it that extra 100%, and they haven't seen the great results from it. And so that pattern or circle of giving up at 90% instead of pushing back, pushing on to 100% or 110%, did make a huge difference for me. But yeah, I think it's extremely important, and trying to work more on having a can-do anything mindset as a new agent. And that's kind of been tough for me this last year. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to get over fears of doing new things, that would be fantastic.
Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And I find agents out there are not only fear of failure, But interesting enough, more have fear of success. Pretty interesting. Fear of success. What, if you think about fear, if you go do, sorry, I was getting a call. If you go do what you're fearful of, think about what is the worst thing that can happen. Anna always talks about we're not rocket science and we're not saving lives here. So what is the worst thing that can happen if you do what you're afraid of? Someone could say no. Someone can hang up on you. Nobody can physically hurt you. What's the worst thing they could do? What's the best thing that could happen if you go do what you're afraid of? What's the best thing? Success. Success. A listing, a buyer, another connection, maybe a referral. You know what? If somebody tells you no, you know what you could do? You could take that and make that an opportunity to say, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time with me. You know, if you knew somebody that needed a real estate expert or a real estate advisor, would you have anyone that you would refer them to? That's a simple question. They could say no. They can say yes, my cousin. But you're also taking something that maybe was a fear and flipping the switch, flipping it on its head and saying, okay, well, how do I make this an opportunity for me? How do I take this fear and fight it and fight the fear, feel the fear and do it anyways? There's a great book called Failing Forward I think it's Maxwell Malt or Maxwell, I have to look it up. But Failing Forward is an awesome book. Look that up. Google it. It talks about failing forward. It talks about where we would be if all these incredible inventors didn't fail forward 1,000 times. You know, you talk about Benjamin Franklin. You talk about Edison. You talk about all the incredible inventors. Where would we be if they stopped? Where would we be? And you never know who is the next Edison, who is the next Tesla, who is the next person to change lives. We don't know. Real estate, we change lives every day. And you never know if being in real estate, you're going to create some app that saves somebody's life, you know, like an app that helps people to stay safe, an app that creates an emergency alarm when somebody isn't connected to their family within a certain period of time at an open house. These things have been created. But you never know if what you do and what you're doing is going to change lives. So what is the worst thing, Spencer, for doing that thing that you're afraid of? What is the fear that you, I'll ask you, what is the fear that you feel? And what's the situation that you feel that fear? Is that making phone calls?
Starting out with, yeah, kind of making phone calls and texting people, friends that I haven't talked to in 10 years. There's kind of working on getting over the fear of seeming too salesy, because I do have a couple friends that are in Forex, these kind of pyramid scheme type situations, and they text and you can immediately tell if they want to sell you something or recruit you to something, and I don't want to be that friend that sounds like I'm just trying to be friends to sell real estate. So there is a bit of a fear of texting people I haven't heard from in my sphere of influence, and then also fear of video, but that's not, I'm getting over the fear of video pretty quick here just by doing it, but mostly at this point it's fear of getting in touch with people I haven't talked to in a while, seeming like I come off salesy.
Can I interject real quick, Sam?
Absolutely, Anna. Absolutely.
So I would first, define what a friend or who a friend is, right? That sounds more like an acquaintance. And think about what the worst thing could be. Like, so I use this with my husband. I'm like the glasses half full. Actually, I'm not half full or half empty. I'm refillable. Like, to me, it's like whatever, you know? Loss is like, just go make more. Everything's refillable. But he is definitely, your glass is half empty. He's definitely the worry person and all that. So I'm constantly, when he's fearful of something, I break it down for him. I'm like, all right, so what is the worst thing that can happen? 3 and 21, and still it's like, always comes back to, if they do this, that will happen and whatever. Then my next question is that true? Right? Like that fear of whatever it is that he just shared. Because it's usually not even close to true. It's these things that we create in our head, right? But if we play it out for you, Spencer, so you're going through your contact list, and there's that person that maybe you knew from another career or something, and the last time you spoke was 3 years ago. Well, A, is that a friend or is that an acquaintance, right? That's just one more person that you're checking off your list that may or may not need your help in buying or selling or investing in real estate in the next 6 months. And you won't know until you actually call. And when you do call, if he doesn't need your help and he's actually a little put off by the fact that you called, just like your friend who called you about isogenics or something, I don't know, whatever, right? First off, this isn't the same, right? So being a realtor and offering that service and value is not like selling someone makeup products or, God help us, whatever the hell it is that they're calling and selling to you. So they're either going to need assistance or know someone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, or they won't. Your relationship with them is not going to change at all, unless, of course, they do need your help, and now you're working with them, and you're actually going to build a better relationship. So not making the call is going to keep that relationship where it is, nowhere. Making the call can create an opportunity where you build that relationship and you actually get a piece of business from it. Now, here's the other thing, Spencer. If you decide at the end of the day that the worst thing about making that call can create some detrimental outcome, don't make the damn call and find another way that you're going to be successful in real estate. Because I got into real estate not having a contact list to call. I was in a brand new state. I had no one to call to say, hey, would you like to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, right? So I had to go create those relationships. The point is that I could have sliced this 1,000 different ways. All you have to do is decide the one way. What is the one thing that you are going to do consistently to the degree that you will excel at that will create the success for you in this real estate industry? One thing, Spencer. Do not focus or worry about every other thing. Just the one thing that you're going to do, and you're going to do it incredibly well.
And there's a great book called The One Thing, and it's really a really quick read. If you've never read it, Spencer, I would advise you. It's called The One Thing, and it talks about the one thing you do at the time is what you focus on. The one thing you do at the time is what you focus on, because there's a fallacy in our business that we can multitask. And yes, we can multitask. However, parts of what we're multitasking don't get done properly, and things can get dropped. And so the one thing is a small book. So I would say, why don't you get the one thing and focus on that, as well as we talked about the Failing Forward. Failing Forward is a great book too. It's not a big read either. So, and what Anna says is just right on the button. Right on the button. If you fear video, you do video. That's how you get over fear. If you fear making phone calls, you make the phone calls. If you don't want to be salesmanly, don't. Take your phone. How many people do you have in your phone? Do you know that, Spencer? Have you looked? Do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
I have an iPhone. I have probably a couple hundred contacts from college. Mostly people I don't would not want to work with, but I suppose I could call them anyway.
You can scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see how many contacts you have in your phone. And most people have contacts in their phone or things that they put in their phone that aren't really contacts. There's a lot of stuff we put in our phones that's just garbage. And I downloaded this app, and I don't make any money off this app. I'm not an affiliate for it or anything. But I put it on my phone, and it cost me $4. But what it does is every once in a while, it goes through my phone, and it fishes through and tells me that I have things that don't have maybe email or things that don't have maybe phone numbers. It is called, give me one sec. I just loaded it up and then now I got to shut it down again to do it again. It's called Contacts Backup. And it's a little blue circle. And it's a way to go through your phone and get rid of the people that are maybe not people. Maybe there's just a number. Maybe there's no name. It goes through your phone and helps you to weed through the people that aren't people. And it will make it so much more manageable. I had 7,000 contacts on my phone. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to go through my phone? And I used that app and I got rid of 5,000 contacts. Some of them were just, numbers that you get, that you create. Some of them are just the name that you put in your phone when you don't have a pen. Try that app. See if that can take your amount of contacts in your phone and make them smaller. Because what I learned a long time, one of my coaches talked about, if you have 150 contacts in your phone, 150 contacts, and people are starved to connect with people right now. People are starved to have human connections. Call people and say, hey, it's a brand new year. I just wanted to say hi. It's been so long since I've talked to you, and I would love to connect with you again. I just want to make sure I have your email and phone number properly on the phone. And make that your holiday list. Make those people that you send a card once in a while and say, find out birthdays, find out anniversaries, find out the important things in their life. Talk about them. Talk about what's important to them. Don't talk real estate, because your goal, of course, eventually is to connect with them and to be their know, like, and trust advisor that they'll use. But when you're calling people and you just want to make a connection again, hey, this crazy COVID thing, people in college, oh my God, I haven't talked to you in so long. How is such and such doing? What are you doing? What did you do with your college degree? Talk about them. People want to. There's a radio station. What's in it for me? WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's what people want to know. What's in it for them? They want to know that you care for them. And if you care for them, you're not a salesman. You're not calling them the first time to say, I want your business. I'm in real estate. You don't want to do that, because then you are a salesman. Because we are in the sales business. However, we're also in the human connection business. We have to connect with people. We have to be human. Social media has a bad rap. Social media is being social. And most people forget social media is being social. So you could look at your Facebook page. See how many of your friends, family make comments on their Facebook page. Say hi. Say, Wow, that was a beautiful post. Congratulations on your marriage. Congratulations on a new baby. You can get a bit. Nice for your school. Hear that? You know, workplace group group. I create groups all the time. That's why I'm telling you this is gold. And I have a guy named Marty Bahama that helps agents to not be salesy and to ask questions. Actually, I want to actually see if he can come in if he's around because he talks about workplace groups all the time and it's just gold when it comes to connecting with people. Oh, cool. Let's see if I just pinged him in. Let me see if he can talk because he talks about workplace groups and this is a really good way to start your business properly by using tools that Facebook is giving you and it's free. Let me text him too. No, it's not letting me do that.
Advantages of that over just regular Facebook groups.
Facebook groups amazing. Can you come into the room? Give me 1 second here. Here, I text him and I pinged him. So Marty talks about Facebook groups, and Facebook groups are ways to approach people but not be salesy. So if I go to, so I want to go to a group. I created groups in my community, Santa Clarita Valley, sell, buy, trade, community help, jobs. So I created a board or a Facebook group with that name on it. Santa Clarita Valley, sell, buy, trade, community help, jobs, post, share. I have almost 300 people in that group. Now, I could post, I'm building this group to help people in my community to do whatever they need to do when it comes to their stuff or jobs or whatever they need to share in the community. I got 300 people that joined my community. And yes, some of them are realtors and some of them are just other business owners, but there's 300 people in there in my community that understand that I gave some value to my community by creating the group. It's my group. I could decide what gets posted there or not. So once you create a group, you decide what you want to allow. So you can go, so you go to your group, you go to the top, you go to the left side, you see create new group. You see that, Spencer?
On workplace, trying to find workplace.
No, not workplace. Facebook. Go to Facebook groups. Actually, you know what? Facebook.com/groups. And see what shows up on your Facebook.
I thought about a local community group, but I didn't know if there would be any benefit to it. I know there are a couple here that already have groups for my local town and area.
Okay. Now, what do you do? What do you do in your town? You want to become the mayor of your town. You want to look for buy, sell, borrow groups. I created. Let's see. You want to do a group about yourself, like I have Los Angeles Homes. Sam Silver makes real estate easy. That's a personal branding group. That's a PBG. But I also created. Let's see. Beg, borrow, buy, and sell in my community. See if there's any of those in there. I doubt there is. Beg, buy, borrow, sell. Kind of an interesting title too, because it's catchy. See if anyone's created those. Oh, looks like Marty's going to come in soon. He's on the other line. So, Dina, I don't want to hog up the stage. Dina, welcome to the room. Newly licensed now. What Mindset Monday? How do you protect your mindset, Dina?
Well, a few different ways, and I was enjoying the conversation. So, quick background, I transitioned last year from medical sales to real estate. So I have about 20 years of medical sales experience. So I definitely have got the sales thing down. And kind of the conversation a bit ago, I was thinking about when, I forget, I can't remember his name, was talking about, I think it's Spencer, having fear. And one thing I learned in medical sales a long time ago, that in sales, we get comfortable being uncomfortable. After 20 years of selling throughout every level of a hospital, I would still walk in and have that nervousness and have that wondering and fear. And it's just, it never goes away. And I think some of the salespeople were a little crazy because I think we almost like feed on it. I kind of like being told no because it gives me a reason to come back in and to convince you for yes. And really, you know, I'm glad you shared that book too, because what does help my mindset and helps kind of shift me is reading and listening, getting new ideas, getting excited about things. I was really curious too about this Facebook page because I've been down with COVID for the last 3 weeks between my kids and I, so I've had a lot of time on Clubhouse. And there's some really good rooms where people are talking about social media, and that's something I've sort of like dabbled in, but really realizing that there's so much more I can do there. So that kind of just helps me. I don't know if it's really a mindset, but it just gets me jazzed and excited and kind of excited for the next thing, especially if I'm struggling with getting leads in or converting leads to sales.
And these rooms are also there to network. Dina, where can we send you referrals?
I'm in the Bay Area. I'm in just north of San Francisco in Marin County. So I primarily concentrate on Marin County and the north part of the city. That's
beautiful up there. I have an uncle that lives in Berkeley.
Yeah, Berkeley's a crazy market right now, I'll tell you. I'm actually glad I don't work the East Bay market. It is insane over there right now. But yeah, I'm a buyer's agent, and I've had a lot of people tell me I need to get into listings. I love working with buyers. It's definitely my calling. I love going deep with buyers and really helping them find the house that they're looking for, figuring out what is sort of like their why, what they really want, and going deep with them and helping them find it. It really excites me, and I'm a little frustrated. I'm now on day 18 of being inside, and I cannot wait until I'm negative and can get back out there.
Well, feel better. Thank you so much for coming in the room.
I feel great. That's the frustrating thing. No, I feel great. But yeah,
Awesome. I appreciate you. Appreciate your input. And I'm probably I'm gonna shut it down soon, but I really want Marty to come in and talk about Facebook groups and how you could do it without being salesy. He talks about this not being salesy. And you know what? I'm going to change the little thing on the top, and I'm going to actually make it Marty's system. He's got a system that he helps as long as it loads up. If not, let me see if I can find it. But I don't want to hog the stage. I want to go back to who is on stage. Correo, how are you?
Hi, Sam. I'm good. Hi, everyone. How are you guys? Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I see this room is about new realtors. So I actually do have a buyer's guide that I recently published for new realtors. And it really focuses on, how to be that realtor that your clients always come to. One of the biggest issues I feel that realtors face is their buyers not trusting them. And it's just like what Sam said, you cannot come across as being salesy. If you're coming across as a salesman, or it's just gonna skeep them out, right? So you do have to develop relationships with them. You do need, I feel like one of the most important things is actually that first interaction, just lay your cards out on the table, letting them know who you are as a realtor, what it is that you're, what's your focus, what it is that you can do for them. It's always great to educate your buyers, make sure you know what it is you're talking about. One of the things is I always say, do not ever say, I don't know. Do not let them feel as if they need to go out and find the answer somewhere else. Even if you don't know, just say, you know what, I'm going to get the best answer for you, or, let me dig a little bit deeper, just something along those lines, just so they'll always come to you and they don't feel like you're leading them astray. And definitely don't make anything up, because if you do, then they're definitely not going to trust you. So that's one of the biggest things. It's just trust and do not be salesy. Treat them exactly how you want to be treated, whether it's a buyer or a seller. And I would say not just the Facebook groups, but you do need to develop relationships with investors in your area. Whenever you're starting out as a new realtor, find the area that you want to work in. It doesn't necessarily have to be your hometown. It doesn't have to be where you live. I often never worked in the surrounding area of where I lived. I always found it better to work outside of it. I just never wanted to mix the two. And that's just personal preference, but I feel like whatever area you choose to work with, you need to know that area, understand the demographics of that area, and then also choose a brokerage that really works well with that area. Because if you say you work in one particular neighborhood, but your brokerage, not saying that your brokerage needs to be in that neighborhood, but your brokerage, the majority of the agents and the majority of the culture of that brokerage focuses on something completely different, you're going to find it very difficult because their approaches are going to be different. So that's also one of the things that you need to think about when you're newly licensed, is not just finding the best brokerage in terms of coaching and all of that, because it may be the best brokerage for training, but it may not be the best brokerage for you because of the area that you want to focus on, because every area is different. So that was my long-winded introduction.
I appreciate you, Corey. Now, how do you protect your mindset? We got all this craziness going on out there. We got COVID. We got people saying, yeah, you get the shot. You got other people saying, no, don't get the shot. It's all made up. How do you protect your mindset? I like to say, I created this room, how to keep a positive mindset and not be meh like a lot of people out there. Because I remember in social media, there's a little emoji that's a meh, and I don't want to be a meh. I don't want to be just in the middle. I want to be positive. I want to be motivated. I want to be out there, knocking walls down. I want to be changing lives. I want to be passionate about my heroes and giving back in the community. I want to stay that way. How do you protect from being meh?
Well, for me is number one, my rule of thumb is it's not anybody's business whether I've been vaccinated or not. And number two, I don't care if you've been vaccinated or not, and I don't ask. Because I feel like it's a personal choice. So I just don't even think about it. Whenever I'm doing my showings, whenever I'm dealing with my clients, I protect myself accordingly. And I don't even think about COVID because I think about COVID honestly like the flu. I wash my hands. My 4-year-old, sorry.
So cute. Kids are welcome. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. No problem.
The boss is yelling at me. So, yeah, I protect myself accordingly. I wash my hands. If someone is physically looking sick, I cancel. If they don't sound like they're 100, I don't do a showing. I just use common sense, really. I really try to I don't watch the news. I know that's bad. My news is like, I figure if something really bad is going to happen, my mom's going to call me anyway. So.
Yeah, I work on not listening to the news also, but my wife likes to watch the news. So sometimes I gotta separate myself from it when I don't want to see it.
I watch CNBC in the morning, and that's it. And yeah, in terms of like all the crazy, because I feel like we just get conflicting information every single day, right? And if you go down that wormhole, it's over. It's at this point, it's like just buy a bunker and live in it, right? So to avoid that, I just don't think about it. I approach my day every day, dealing with my clients. Like I said, use your common sense. It's all about using your common sense. Just don't let this get to you too much. I understand that there are families that's been affected by this. I lost my stepfather from this. So it's not like I'm oblivious to it. I don't think it's fake. It's not that. It's just that we still have to live. We still have to pay our bills. And it's just the times that we're living in. So I just push through every day and just not think about it.
Do you meditate, or do you ways to ground yourself? Is there something that you do specifically that you use to ground yourself? Yoga, meditation, anything like that?
Wine. It's not bad. I'm being honest. Like,
hey,
if I'm having a bad day and it's just like
glass of wine. You know what? It's good for your heart. It's good for your heart.
There you go. I'll do a glass of Cab. If it's a really bad day, I'll do a Bordeaux. But
so you basically take time out for yourself when you need it.
Oh yeah, you have to. The thing is, what people don't understand, and I feel like a lot of people, they get into real estate, they feel like they're going to be able to do a 9-to-5 and then sell 10 houses every month and kumbaya, right? It doesn't work like that. Real estate is literally, once you become a realtor, you'll see that it's actually a lifestyle. Whether you're doing it full-time or part-time, you'll find yourself thinking about, if it's your passion, you're going to find yourself thinking about it and you don't even know you're thinking about it. You'll go on a vacation in the Caribbean and you'll see a property and you're like, oh wow, I wonder what that will go for, and I wonder if I can Airbnb, and then your brain just keeps going, right? Once you take the real estate pill, it becomes your life. So you just have to know when to turn it off, and it does take time and it takes practice. Sometimes my 4-year-old will tell me, like, it's not your client's time, mommy, it's my time, right? That's like his favorite saying. But see, there you go. Is he really hungry? Nope, but he hears me talking. So this is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. How many times am I sitting at a restaurant and I hear somebody say something about real estate and my ears go up and my wife's like, no, no, no. Because, I mean, having ADD is a blessing and a curse at the same time. You could be sitting there having a complete conversation with your loved ones, and you could still hear everything around you, which could be a little overwhelming. So sometimes you do need to take that time away um, to separate. But being at a restaurant, I have so many times that I pass the business card in the next booth, or I hear somebody say something about investment, and my ears perk up, and I just say, I apologize for interrupting you. However, I have a few pocket listings that are things that are coming up that, I don't know if you're interested. Sometimes they're off the market, and, or they're just being released in the market, and I can keep you in the loop. Um, just being there and listening and always having your ear open for an opportunity, especially when you're a new agent. When you're a new agent, everything is real estate. Everything you see is real estate. Everything you smell is real estate. Um, it will come to you as long as you are focusing on being educated, or focusing on understanding what title report is, what your prelim does, all those things that are very important in the process, and they're boring. However, you have to know about them. So, Spencer, what I would tell you to start off with, know that contract backward and forward. Know that contract. Because you, as a new agent, understanding that contract backward and forward, you're going to be able to do more for your business than a lot of agents that's been in 50 years that maybe haven't really kept up with their contracts. So know that contract in front of you backwards and forward. Open up a file. Make a template of that contract. Make a listing contract. Make a buyer contract. Make a lease agreement contract. Understand those things, because when it comes to dealing with the client, it's sales. And it comes from your confidence in understanding legal documentation. You're confident dealing with a client when you go to sell their house and understanding that contract, a listing agreement, backwards and forwards and sideways, and understanding that we just added this many things in our RPA. Our RPA just changed. So kind of interesting, Spencer. You're on ground level with all of us seasoned agents right now because RPA just changed. So focus your attention on RPA, on that residential purchase agreement. You're in the same boat as all of us out there when it comes to the purchase agreement. And you know what? When the listing agreement changes, and that will, you'll be in the same boat as all the other agents with the listing agreement. So if you focus your attention on staying educated and staying up with your contracts and understanding them backwards and forwards and upside down, you will be an incredible success in this business. So that's kind of my little thing about our contracts are changing constantly. Every year they add another piece, but our RPA just changed and actually made it a lot simpler to understand. So know your contract, Spencer, my friend. And it is 1:42, and I'm going to have to close down this room because I have to go pick up my daughter from school. We're talking about parenting and doing everything. But thank you so much for coming in this room. God bless you all. And if you need to get a hold of me, go to sam661.com. That forwards to my 10K card. And I appreciate all of you, all you in the audience. Thank you so much for being here. We would not be here in this room. Please follow Newly Licensed Now What. You never know what kind of classes I'm going to have in here. I also put it into my YouTube channel. Go to Sam661 is my YouTube channel. Join me there. I'm streaming across multiple networks. I got Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitter. So I have all those running at the same time. So you could see me in my Instagram channel also, Sam661 Homes. Don't miss out. And then I also do a podcast version of this. I'll put it on my podcast as well. So that way people, if they just want to listen, they could just listen. But I appreciate all of you. God bless you. Spencer, I hope we were able to pour into you. Corey, thank you so much for coming in this room and adding value. That's what this room's all about. Please, replay is on, so you can take this with you. Download the replay. And please feel free to share this. I will be doing this. Let's see, tomorrow is Tuesday. I will be doing this tomorrow as well, 12 o'clock to hopefully 1:30. But God bless you all, and I'm going to close this room in 10 seconds. 9.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I hope it did help you with your where you're at. And thank you all for being here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take care. All right. Thank you for coming. Newly licensed now what? Mindset Monday. I hope you learned something today. I hope it helps you get better in your business, whatever that may be. I hope it helps you to protect your mindset, how to not get bogged down by the negativity around us, how to protect your mindset and not be meh today. So we will see you tomorrow. God bless and take care of each other. Bye for now.